Hello and welcome to the HE Induction Summer 2024 at the University of Suffolk East Coast College. Welcome to your studies. Thank you for choosing East Coast College. We're an experienced provider of higher education courses with over 25 years under our belts. We offer over 30 degree level programs and are a founding partner of the University of Suffolk. By choosing us, you will study in a friendly and welcoming environment. You'll get better access to your tutors and resources and not just be a face in a huge lecture theatre full of students. Be assured you're on good quality courses. Our external examiners think our courses are of a very high standard, and we were recently reapproved in February for delivery of University of Suffolk qualifications, receiving 6 commendations. Benefit from the security of staying local. You can keep part-time work, sports teams, hobbies and interests, and save money on university accommodation fees. Studying in higher education will be different to what you're used to, and as a higher education student, you're empowered to take control over your studies. We seek to help prepare you by developing the essential skills you'll need and facilitating you to undertake some study activities in your own time. These have been produced by UCAS and the National Extension College. We are delivering the skills the students have asked for. Our years of experience supports this, so you'll be better prepared to start your studies. So you'll be provided with a brief introduction to the guides so you can work through them in your own time. There are activities we strongly recommend that you can do over the summer and will help develop the essential skills for success in HE. And whilst not compulsory, your engagement with them tells us a lot about your drive and enthusiasm as a student. So the guides will cover how to present an argument, time management, proofreading and editing your work, and academic essay writing. So how to present an argument. The word argument has a particular meaning in HE. You've been asked to do something specific. You will work on developing the skills of presenting an argument, which will be needed throughout your degree, taking your work from being simply descriptive and informational. We will work through a 4-step process in presenting an HE argument. So what do you need to know? You need to persuade people to accept your conclusion by providing them with convincing reasons to do so. This is done by using the 3 Ps. You will need to put forward the reasons for your argument supported by strong examples and evidence, then produce reasons to reject other views, why in this case they are wrong, and finally persuade the audience to accept your conclusion, again supported by evidence. So what makes a well-presented argument? You're taking people on a journey. They will look for specific things to guide them. These are 1. A clear structure to your work. 2. Fact-based explanation of why other arguments are wrong and yours is right, and give them clear reasons and examples and evidence to agree with your conclusion. You also need to bear in mind the word limit restrictions you are working to at all times. So the first exercise. For this first exercise, you'll need to make some notes about what you think are the key components of a good argument. Take about 5 minutes to do this and pause the video now. And welcome back. Now, in your own time, you will need to visit the letter pages of a national newspaper. You will then need to read a number of letters and select examples which you think present an argument. Then starting at the end of the letter, identify the components that make up the argument and ask yourself whether or not the writer has persuaded you, or not, of their argument and why. If you want to do this now, please pause the video. Welcome back. So how to present an argument. There are 2 exercises to complete in the handouts you've been provided with in the email. You will need to work through the guide and complete the work in your own time. Remember, self-directed work is a key part of being a HE student. If you want to do this now, please pause the video. Welcome back. So time management. Learning how to manage your time is key in HE. You will have more control of your studies. You taking responsibility for how and when to study is a key difference between colleges and schools, further education and higher education. Your lecturers will let you know what's expected of you However, it's down to you to plan your study and meet deadlines. If you're struggling, please speak to your tutors. Don't ignore things. It is expected you're on time to all sessions and attend 100% of the time. We aim to be as flexible and supportive as we can be. However, we will speak to you if your attendance falls below 80%. So how you study best. Understanding how you like to study is the first step in good time management. On the next slide, there will be 6 statements about study habits and preferences. For each one, you will need to write down either A or B, depending on which is the closest to your approach to study. The statements are: 1. I like detailed instructions, or I like to try things out for myself. 2. I like to work on my own, or I like to work with others. 3. I like to do one thing at a time, or I like to have several things on the go. 4. I prefer everything to be tidy and organised, or I can cope with things being untidy. 5. I need the discipline of a set timetable, or I can motivate myself to do things. Or 6. I like to type and make notes on screen, or I like to write and make notes on paper. Please pause the video now and complete the task. Welcome back. If you have mostly A's, you respond well to clear boundaries, structure and timetables. If you have mostly B's, you're more creative and spontaneous and able to work with uncertainty. And if you have a balance of both, you are adaptable and able to change depending on the situation. Both have strengths and weaknesses. The most important thing is to understand which works for you. So time management. The next thing you need to do is work through the guide and complete the work in your own time. You can pause the video now if you wish to. There are 5 exercises for you to complete. Welcome back. So proofreading and editing your work. It's easy to read your own work and not see the errors. There will be some tips and techniques for proofreading and editing your work. You will cover rewriting unclear sentences and eliminating spelling, grammar and punctuation errors. So why do proofreading and editing matter? It's easy to overlook proofreading and editing if you're in a rush, and careless errors will lower your grades and final classification. You will demonstrate you're a competent and conscientious student, consolidate your knowledge and understanding of a subject, and thinking about your own writing from the reader's point of view. Checking for similarity with others' work and artificial intelligence use, ensuring your work is your own and or correctly referencing it is your responsibility. You will be given more information and support during your own on-campus induction. So proofreading and editing your work. The next thing you need to do is work through the guide and complete the work in your own time. You can pause the video now if you wish to. There are 4 exercises for you to complete. Academic essay writing. You will have to write essays on all degrees at some point. Each course will have their own conventions of what is needed in terms of content and style, and you will develop an understanding of general academic essays, their sound structure, coherent arguments, and clear presentation. So, academic essay writing involves the collecting and ordering of relevant information, organising your ideas and arguments, presenting work so others can understand the ideas and arguments, citing the sources you used, and produce well-argued pieces of writing to specific word counts. This is important as work significantly over or under the word limit will be sanctioned. So identifying key verbs and ideas. So key verbs and ideas give direction in thinking about how to approach an essay title. You will better understand the question, therefore produce better responses. For the next activity, you will need 2 different colour pens. One colour to mark the key verbs in the question and one colour to mark the key ideas. In this example, the key verb is highlighted in green and the key ideas are highlighted in blue. So animal models of disease are of questionable scientific value. Discuss, and then the references from biochemistry at the University of Cambridge. So animal models of disease and scientific value are the ideas, and discuss is the verb. So you've got 6 examples here for you to identify the key verbs and ideas. Now have a try this now and see how you get on. So 1. In what ways did Peter the Great's reforms transform the concept of the Russian Empire? 2. Explore the meaning of radical evil and the banality of evil using the cases of Idi Amin and Adolf Eichmann. 3. Discuss the fallen woman as a familiar feature of Victorian writing. And 4. Graphene, the wonder material, does it live up to the hype? So pause the video now. Welcome back. So in the first example, the key ideas were Peter the Great's reforms and the Russian Empire, and the key verb was transform. The second example, the key ideas were radical evil, banality of evil, Idi Amin and Adolf Eichmann, and the key verb was explore. In the third example, the key ideas were fallen woman and Victorian writing, and the key verb was discuss. In the fourth example, the key ideas were graphene, does it, and hype, and the key verb was live up. So academic essay writing. The next thing you need to do is work through the guide and complete the work in your own time. You can pause the videos now if you wish to, and there are 5 exercises for you to complete. So the next steps. You will need to work through the guides and carry out the activities within them. Practice these skills, and as much as you can, as you don't want to become too overwhelmed in the first few weeks of your course. Remember, self-directed asynchronous learning is a key part of studying in HE. So the learning services at East Coast College. There are physical libraries at the Great Yarmouth campus and the Lowestoft campus. You can access both. It doesn't matter where your course is based. There is an online library at libguides.uos.ac.uk. So the learning services available in person include the ability to borrow books, use study tables, access computers, and access face-to-face staff help. The library services available online include reading lists, library catalogues, research databases, and study skills resources. Your course leader will arrange for a member of the learning services team to visit for a more in-depth session about the services available to you. The University of Suffolk Student Charter. The University of Suffolk Student Charter was developed by the University and the Students' Union in the spirit of partnership, shared values and principles. It clearly sets out the expectations from each other in terms of what you can expect from us and what we can expect from you. It makes it clear what you have agreed to do as a student and what could happen if you don't. It's important to have a look at this charter to familiarise yourself with the content. We're all partners in our academic community, and you can find the charter by following the web link. So SEND support. The SEND team are here to support you with your studies. Please make us aware if you have, need, or think you need support with a disability during your studies. So please email sendofficers@eastcoast.ac.uk for support. Support in HE. Support in HE revolves around the Disabled Students Allowance, or DSA, which can provide support to cover the study-related costs because of a mental health problem, illness or disability, and includes diagnostic assessments to help you. Once issues have been identified, it is up to you, the student, to engage with the support offered. You should make sure you've read all the pages of any email or letter concerning your DSA. These can then lead to a reasonable adjustment agreement, or RAA. This can make the work and the course more accessible to you, help with exam arrangements, and inform staff of needs so support can be put in place. Please remember, we cannot support you if we aren't aware of your needs. This support is specific to you and it can vary from student to student. So how to get a DSA? To get a DSA, you'll need to contact the SEND officers to advise on how and where to apply. You could do this at sendofficers@eastcoast.ac.uk, and you could get specialist equipment, non-medical help, or further reasonable adjustment depending on your needs. So your reasonable adjustment agreement. So the RAA can be updated, so if things change, let us know. It can make work and the course more accessible. It can help with exam arrangements and inform staff of your needs. But please remember, you will still have to complete the assessments you're set to the minimum pass standard. So wellbeing support. There is a dedicated wellbeing support member of staff for you. So if you need wellbeing support, please contact Carly Water. Her email is k.water@eastcoast.ac.uk. So you could be signposted to alternative services and provide the support in accessing all these alternative services. So student behaviour. Similar activities are being rolled out across many universities in the UK. This is in response to the rising issue nationally of harassment and behaviour at universities. This is intended to better support students during their studies, so please complete the short training course that was included in the email you received. Student finance. So please be aware all courses are subject to tuition fees, which are payable 2 weeks after you start your course. In most cases, the fees are provided via Student Finance England. So please note, there are some circumstances where Student Finance England won't provide funding, such as you already hold or have partly undertaken any HE qualification. So if you aren't sure, please contact Student Finance England to check. Please ensure you have your tuition fee and maintenance loans in place, and note that Student Finance England is entirely independent of the college and university, and any queries have to be made directly to them by yourselves. So here are some useful links for you to help you better prepare for your studies. So we've got the Library Learning Services web address, East Coast College Library email address, Student Finance England web address, the Extra Financial Help web address, the DSA web address, the Mind web address, and the Wellbeing Service web address. So on a final note, HE is quite daunting to begin with, but it does get easier. So please complete the activities and the course sent to you so you can be better prepared for your studies. We look forward to seeing you for the next part of your induction. Remember, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think.